What is up, guys? Joel with Black.Death.Thrash.Doom, and it is time for kind of a weird episode. Only cassettes today, and I don't really collect cassettes. I had maybe 12 or 15 cassettes, and then I recently got, I shouldn't say recently, I got a briefcase full of cassettes over a year ago from somebody that I actually kind of knew from shows. It was on Craigslist, and I got the whole briefcase for $30, and there was a bunch of butt rock in there, and hair metal, and some Linda Ronstadt, and the Eagles, and just a bunch of weird stuff. But there was a lot of salvageable stuff in there for yours truly, and I'm going to show that off now. And then there's some more cassettes that I got, just a small pile of cassettes that I got from another lot. I will talk about that in just a second, so let's get straight to it. But if you could, comment, subscribe, that would be amazing. Do you guys collect cassettes? And if you do, what's the most recent cassette you've gotten? Because I don't really get them often. Oh, I did get one recently, Sumerian Tombs. I'll have to show that to you guys. This first one I'm not familiar with, and I'm just a full disclosure, I don't even have a cassette player right now. I don't. I think my girlfriend might in storage, and we've been meaning to get that, but yeah, I don't even have a cassette player right now. I didn't really even care about cassettes until some really cool ones fell in my lap, so now I need to get a cassette player and actually listen to these, because some of them I'm not even familiar with, like Grim Reaper, See You in Hell. Not familiar with this album at all. Definitely have seen it before. I know who Grim Reaper is. Actually, didn't one of their members just pass away? That sucks. But anyways, Grim Reaper, See You in Hell. I really want to listen to this, and I've never listened to it, so there you go. And speaking of stuff I'm not as familiar with, I'm pretty freaking familiar with Black Sabbath. I'm actually familiar with a lot of Black Sabbath. But that being said, I'm not hyper into Ozzy Osbourne. Not that I'm not into it, I'm just not familiar with it. So there's a few albums here that I'm familiar with some songs, but I'm really not familiar with the whole album, and especially this one, The Ultimate Sin. I don't think I've ever heard this Ozzy Osbourne album before. I'm not sure if it even has any songs I'm familiar with at all. Of course, they're not listed, and it's very blurry. The typing is super blurry. That's cool. Yeah, I don't think I know any of these songs. Yeah, so I'm excited to listen to this because, yeah, never had this before. There's a lot of these cassettes I have had as a teenager, but not that one. Definitely more familiar with this one, No More Tears. Ozzy Osbourne again. Talk about a disgusting case. It is dirty as hell. I'm going to have to wash my hands after this. But yeah, No More Tears, pretty cool. Definitely know a few songs off of this one. I don't know if people really enjoy this one as much as the others. I'm not sure. I feel like people don't like that as much. What do you guys think about that album? But here's another one that I'm not familiar with. No Rest for the Wicked. So, yeah. Let me see. Are there any songs on here? Bloodbath in Paradise? What a great song title. God, I'm not sure I know any of these songs. Yeah, crazy. What year is this? 88? Yeah, I was not into this, I guess. I don't know. I'm not really familiar with much Ozzy Osbourne. I know some, but yeah, not those two albums. And No More Tears, I definitely know a little bit. Black Sabbath, Paranoid. I mean, come on. This is a fucking classic. It's got that old, crappy... It looks like the color of somebody's paint when they have smoked for too many years indoors. Yeah, and yeah, Black Sabbath's Paranoid. I have no idea if any of these are reissues or originals. I mean, I doubt they're originals. I have no idea though, because I've been going through my collection on Discogs with my CDs, which is mostly what I collect, and I'm halfway through that. It's taking forever, and I haven't even touched my cassettes or my small vinyl collection to see what they're worth or if these are originals or whatever, but they look old. This is a great album. I got that to say about that. Speaking of great stuff, one of my favorite EPs when I was a teenager is just absolutely one of my favorite EPs, Haunting the Chapel by Slayer. I mean, come on, it's got Chemical Warfare on it. It's got Chemical Warfare on it. What more do you need? But yeah, Slayer, Haunting the Chapel, and it's got one extra track, Aggressive Perfector. I remember that track. Yeah, it's been a long time, but pretty cool to get this because I did have this as a teenager. Listen to the shit out of it on my Walkman. Moving on, we've got another Slayer, and maybe one that people don't love as much. I feel like this is the Slayer where people were like, It's not as good as their older stuff. It's okay. I really enjoyed it, and this is right when I was getting into Slayer as a teenager. I'd gotten into them just like a little bit before this, and this is the album that was coming out right when I got into them. Divine Intervention, pretty damn cool, and I remember this as a teenager as well. It's got the red tape. Well, it's a clear tape, but it's got the red American on it. Pretty badass, and just like the album art, some of the best album art ever. Absolutely one of my favorites. And let's see, Kerry King, when he first shaved his head, but didn't have any tattoos, or at least not on his head. But yeah, pretty cool to see the band back then. Pretty cool to see a tape that I specifically remember owning and just playing the shit out of. And it's like, this was probably the third album I ever bought with my own money. And, well, third album. Nobody ever actually bought me albums, so third album I bought, period. But Divine Intervention was probably like the third album I ever bought. On cassette, mind you. I just said that. Okay, so moving on, we've got a really good one. A really good one. And the one that's probably in the best condition as well. We've got Judas Priest, Turbo, hell yeah, I'm your Turbo Lover! So good. So freaking good. I'm not as familiar with this album, but I'm very stoked to have this now. And like I said, it's in really good shape. And it's in one of those smoky, like, TDK. Remember those smoky TDK? I think Maxell had them too. The case is pretty funny. But yeah, great shit. Great shit. Stoked to have that. Moving on, got another thrash classic. Metallica and Justice for All. I should have kept one of the other tapes and switched out the case, because this looks like shit. But yeah, Metallica, this looks like my copy back in the day. This could be my copy from back in the day. Just kidding. It's probably not, but the chances are very low of that. But Metallica, you know what? Actually, it's not. Now that I think about it, I sold all my old cassettes to Music Head here locally, and that dude used to go to shows at Music Head and, like, shop there. So it's very possible. That would be really funny. This is possible that this could be, just possible, this could be my teenage copy of Injustice for All. I doubt it, but it's pretty damn beat. I listened to the shit out of this when I was a teenager. Holy shit, I listened to the shit out of this. So many good songs. Harvester of Sorrow, come on. One, I remember when One came out. It was the first song I heard, because they had a video for it, a very edited video for it on MTV. And the fucking double kicks, I was like, what the hell? My little mind was blown. My newly formed metal neurons were like, what the shit? This is what I need more of. That was like when it was... That's when I was a brand new metalhead. Brand new. When I first moved to Oregon, actually. This is a classic. God damn, speaking of when I was a teenager, owning this tape. God, I used to mow lawns to make money to buy more tapes, and this is one of the ones I'd listen to constantly in my Walkman. Testament to Legacy. How can you go wrong with this album? It's got Over the Wall on it. I mean, that right there is just, that right there is worth it. First Strike, Still Dead. Is it First Strike? Oh, First Strike is deadly. What is First Strike Still Deadly? But yeah, Over the Wall, The Haunting, Burnt Offerings, just fucking amazingness in cassette format. So freaking cool to have this, because, again, this is something I owned as a teenager and listened to the shit out of as a teenager. Arguably, these two arguably the best ones. I don't know. Testament to Legacy, pretty freaking awesome. But Deicide, Serpents of the Light, there was one death metal cassette in here. And for all I know, a few of these could have been actually my old ones, because I had this as well. And this is actually kind of hard to get. Last time I looked, this is the one I did look up. This is worth like $30, but, you know, it could have gone down. I have no idea. But Deicide, Serpents of the Light, arguably the last Deicide album that I like. I'm really a fan of everything before this album, but everything after is just such a drop-off in quality, and it's just, I mean, sometimes it's not even funny. Sometimes it is funny. They've had some, God, Blame It on God. Blame It on God! I hate that fucking song so bad, it's so terrible. Anyways, I saw Deicide in like the early 2000s, really early 2000s, because it was before the Hoffman brothers left. And they put on this great show. They were brutal as shit. I swear I've got like cat hair in my nose. I just vacuumed in here, and it feels like I have a freaking nose full of cat hair. Also, sorry for the low light. It's a dreary day, and I don't feel like being blinded by a goddamn flash for 15 to 20 minutes, so sorry. Anyways, if you haven't heard Deicide, Serpent to the Light, this is actually a really good album. There's some good ones on here. Oh no, this one has Blame It on God. That's so funny. This one's got a shitty song on it, so beware of that. But other than that, yeah, this is a pretty good album. Like I said, probably the last good one. Once Upon the Cross was much better, though, in my opinion. This, not metal or rock or anything at all. The movie soundtrack, well, I guess it's kind of rockin', very old rockin', but this is amazing. This I got at a garage sale. That was it for the briefcase of tapes. That's what I kept from the briefcase of tapes. This is at a garage sale, and I bought like a small pile of shit, and he was like $5, and this was in there. So fucking yeah, dude. Literally one of my favorite. This is my favorite trilogy of all time, and one of my favorite movies of all time. I don't know if I like the second one better than the first one. What do you guys think? Back to the Future 1 or Back to the Future 2? Nobody likes Back to the Future 3 more than any of those two, even though it's still a great movie. Anyways, Back to the Future, great soundtrack, amazing to get on cassette, and this is not an English copy. I can't remember. I think it's French. Pretty sure it's French. But, yeah, pretty interesting to get that randomly at a yard sale locally, and for so damn cheap. Hell yeah. Alright, so 5 more tapes, and these came from a lot that I got about a week ago. There's a dude locally that resells stuff, and sometimes he buys stuff from me, and sometimes I buy stuff from him, and sometimes we trade, and we've just known each other for a while. Well, I'm going through his shit and actually helping him set up his little store a little bit that he's opening, and he's got this, like, box of cassettes, and they're all, like, good titles. There was, like, Poison, there was, like, Rat, there was, like, Lita Ford, like, not stuff that I listen to, but stuff that I know is, like, sought after. You know, in cassette format especially, and so I sold that stuff. That stuff I resold, made $1 on, and got to keep 5 cassettes, so that's what these 5 cassettes are, what I kept from that. Nothing incredible here. Well, the last one's pretty incredible. But we got Motley Crue, Dr. Feelgood. This is not something I'm normally into. However, this is a nostalgia thing. Right when I was getting into thrash, I had a couple friends that were brothers, and one of them had this cassette. I can't remember which one of the brothers had this cassette, but I always loved the artwork, and I always just loved a couple of the songs. I don't know, I thought it was pretty cool. I don't know if this J card is cut, or if it's, oh, some dipshit put it in there and bent it. Way to go, dipshit. Anyways, but yeah, not something I normally would listen to, but for nostalgic reasons and for the price, which is me making profit, yeah, it was nice to get that, so. And this one's pretty damn cool, and I do like Mike Patton, so we got Faith No More. This has 2 extra songs, actually. The Real Thing. I'm not sure how familiar I am with this album. It's been a long time since I heard this band, and I can't remember if this is the album that I heard, but Faith No More, good shit. Just classic, really good, like, catchy, heavier rock, just so freaking good. I do like Faith No More. Do you guys like Faith No More? And am I the only weirdo here? Alright, and moving on. This is super weird because Def Leppard is one of the first, like, bands that I ever liked on my own. And my brother-in-law gave me a cassette of Pyromania, and it's, like, literally one of the first cassettes I ever had. And to this day, I still love Pyromania. I have no idea. It's just nostalgia, I guess. And I've been finding a few Def Leppard things here and there, and figured I would go ahead and keep this one, too, because this is a weird enigma to me. I've never heard of this album before. High and Dry, it's super old. It's like 81, I think. And it has a song that I'm familiar with on here, Bringing On the Heartbreak. And what's weird is it has a remix of that song on the other side, just in the middle of the freaking album. But yeah, Def Leppard, High and Dry. I don't know anything about this. I just recently got On Through the Night on cassette and on CD, and then I got Hysteria on CD as well. Spoiler alert for later on. But I'm still looking for fucking Pyromania. Damn it. But anyways, High and Dry. I don't know how I never knew about this album. Or if I did, I have smoked those memories away. This next one, it was debatable if I was going to keep or not, but it's something that I eventually, when I get a cassette player, really would like to freaking listen to again, because it's been probably 2 decades, but Guns N' Roses, Use Your Illusion 2. Appetite for Destruction is just so goddamn overplayed. It's not bad, it's just goddamn, it's fucking overplayed. Like, if I hear any of those songs again, I probably won't be happy. But Use Your Illusion 1 and 2, it's been like so long since I've heard these. And there's some good songs on here, but it's fucking dark blue on black, and, you know, I don't have my reading glasses on. That's right, the most recent time that I got glasses, just like a few weeks ago, I got these new glasses, and I got a pair of readers too. I'm getting old. But anyways, Use Your Illusion 2, pretty cool. Meh. Last one, very cool. Last one, super cool. One of my favorites. Just come on, you'll know when you see it. Judas Priest, Painkiller on cassette. I didn't own this one as a teenager, and this is freaking awesome. God damn it, that song is so good. This album's really great. This is just really, this is good stuff, and I'm really stoked that I have this on tape. It's actually in really, pretty good shape. I need to put a different case with it, but now I have 2 Judas Priest tapes. How weird is that, from having none to having 2? Pretty stoked. That's pretty much all I have for you. Just a pile of cassettes, which is super weird. You're probably not going to see that again on this channel, so relish and enjoy. Enjoy my Joel relish. That's all I have for you guys. Leave a comment down below what you think of the old Cassetterinos. It'd be cool if you subscribed. It'd be cool if you gave a thumbs up, or a double thumbs up. That'd be cool. Got 2 accounts? Give me 2 thumbs up. Thanks for watching. You guys rule. Keep it metal. Woo! Yeah!